Another prominent organization leaving the ALGS scene despite having the partnership program. And then also you've got some bad news with visas going on. A lot to dive into and discuss in today's video. If you guys want to stay up to date, like the video and subscribe to the channel right here, all things ALGS news. Let's dive into it. Firstly, want to make mention, look, LAN is getting ready, man. We are almost there. It is looking really good. I've heard a lot of good things about where they're playing, the Galen Center. A lot of good things about LA in general. The players seem to be liking it. So I'm very excited to see how all of this falls into place. Nice wig. It said, you know, it's about that time. You also had Ian Holstead saying the arena is amazing. Can't wait to see you folks there. And this was like their little time lapse or hyperlapse of them actually building the scene together, and it's taking a lot of work. A lot of people are involved, of course, and it's just going to be very exciting to have the games getting kicked off tomorrow. Also wanted to make mention of these hype levels. Of course, a lot of people are talking about how hyped they are for LAN and why this is one of the more prominent events. It seems like we have more esport organizations maybe involved, also just more teams in general that actually are competitive, right? It's not just TSM and NRG looking to be the best teams, or Dark Zero. We've got a lot of teams that we're covering, right? Like Aurora looked actually good. They actually might be able to do this. Fnatic actually might be able to do this. It actually might not be TSM again. And so I think this is why a lot of people are enjoying something different. SSG, not Moist. Like, so many teams out there actually look like they have a chance. And so that's why the hype levels for this LAN are probably a little bit higher than normal. But also the gun balance is a little bit different, right? It's not the same old meta over and over. So I'm excited about that one. And then also the production seems to be really good, right? We've talked about all the equipment has got upgraded. The monitors are upgraded. The PCs are upgraded. All in all, it looks like there's actually more things to look forward to here, besides one thing, and that's the fact that FACEIT obviously seems to suck. The no command center at this time, and people were complaining about how FACEIT was already really bad. A lot of people really want to see the POV of their favorite teams. And also you saw Tim Pearson, of course, one of the guys who gets all these POVs as well, not being able to get that media pass. There's a lot of people trying to vouch for him. Not exactly sure if he ever was able to get it, but really some command center issues going on and some things that people are worried about. But we'll see how it all plays out at the end of the day. Definitely excited to watch the games, and just hopefully there's a good way to break them down afterwards. Also saw a survey about this one. I thought this one was very interesting. So it looks like that Tim Provision had actually put out a survey regarding ALGS and what these players should do. Should they do team spawns randomly at POIs, different, maybe at different times? Legend bans per match, no repeat bans, and weapon bans per match, no repeat bans, or another type of addition for ALGS. The more prominent one was 63% of legend bans per match, no repeat bans. Now, years ago, we talked about this, right? Could they actually do this? The problem was you had 20 teams and it was literally not even possible. You would ban every single legend. But now we have more than enough legends to allow one team to actually ban a legend and be left with a good 5, whatever. So we have enough legends to actually do this now. I just don't know if we're going to be happy with that change, because if you have 20 teams doing this, every team's going to have a chance to block TSM's favorite characters or Dark Zero's favorite characters. But then again, that's also a lot of other teams' favorite legends. So it's like, what do you actually do? I think it would be very interesting. It would make for some good games. So interested to see what you guys have to say about that. Now, unfortunately, we've got some bad news to discuss in today's video as well. Team XSET has decided to pack bags and leave the ALGS. Now, honestly, this was not as big of a surprise to me. We had some sources that had told us this not long ago. And actually, if you went on XSET's website, you would notice they would have already removed their Apex Legends game as part of their, organization for quite some time. So this is not necessarily new news. It just wasn't as big and widespread and public, I guess. But prominent figure, obviously, Koifel came out to say that this was happening to begin with. He said that following split 1, there was going to be a withdrawal, XSET said, and they let us know that they were getting away from Apex. After discussing with the whole team, I've decided to explore all these other options for split 2, and now I'm an unrestricted free agent. That was part 1, but he goes in also to talk about how he's going to be playing for Legends Gaming in for this LAN event. So I'm very interested to see how that goes. Will there be a situation where Koi wants to play with Legends? Does he want to move over to APAC South? Do they want to move over to North America? I would imagine that North America probably would be the normal thing, but I feel like we honestly are not too far off of, look, APAC South is very competitive. These other regions are getting better. They are looking very competitive. It wouldn't be, in my opinion, Koi is already good and dominant in North America as far as being a fragger goes. I think he would be exceptionally well inside of APAC South. I would love for Americans to start moving over to other regions and see how that plays out as well. But nonetheless, you already have him playing for that APAC South team. Then you already have Optic Gaming releasing their roster and XSET ALGS, and they were part of the partnership program as well. XSET was a part of the partnership program. Basically, the word that we heard, Optic did confirm that that partnership program simply is not enough to stick around, and it just is unfortunate to see all these teams leave now. But Knock also came out to say the XSET news was not really supposed to be announced yet, but whatever, we're all unrestricted free agents, and I'll be announcing my plans going forward. He did say that he was going to be still sticking around with Fun and Hodsick unless something happens financially, right? So unless they get a better opportunity, I guess. I really appreciate XSET for what we had in an unfortunately short time. Especially shout out to Jacob as well. So really big news coming out from XSET, and once again another one bites the dust. Really hate this, especially when you have teams like Complexity trying to get in, right? They've tried to put their worth, they've tried to show their spot and that they're worthy and that they've been sticking around Apex for quite some time, and apparently they keep getting denied. Really sucks in the end, but also sucks to have XSET leave as well. Now, another thing that sucks are visa issues. One of the teams coming from the Chinese side of things, of course, they get 2 invited teams over there, and Zavis, one of their players, sadly will be missing due to visa issues as well. So Bolin will be playing in his place, and apparently Bolin will switch to controller from what this person was told. So this is just getting all out of whack, right? You're not even getting your right player. You're getting a substitute that's not even playing on the normal input, it seems like. So this is some really weird stuff. But Bolin also, this split had played in the APAC South Pro League and then initially under DNZ before moving to Kill Devil in the last few weeks. Kill Devil also has requalified through the qualifiers for the next split as well. So not a bad player, of course, but interested to see how this all falls into place at the end of the day. But honestly, a lot of visa issues. I really hope that this is addressed to some other degree. Maybe it's a US issue. Maybe we just need to figure out what's going on. Maybe we need a little bit more of an announcement, like prior to, we need a little bit earlier of an announcement, but interested to see what happens here. Also, we've got to make mention of the new announced team very shortly for Team Legacy. Of course, we've been talking about them moving over to Team Liquid, and this announcement literally has to happen either today or it has to happen probably right before LAN, maybe tomorrow. But if you haven't seen already from some of our other videos, or maybe just over on Twitter, Team Legacy had their name changed from Legacy to Liquid Alienware. So we're very excited, and more than likely we are going to see Legacy join in here for Team Liquid. Now, not really surprising. We knew Liquid was coming back into the scene. We heard some other organizations were looking at getting back as well. I really hope that Liquid may be getting some of that partnership program stuff, but it would really be a slap in the face to teams like Complexity if they do. But also, I just love that, Moist Esports has officially changed their name to Not Moist. I just love that they allowed that to go through. It's honestly still like they're playing with Moist at the end of the day. So very excited about that. Lastly, wanted to make mention of some Esports World Cup. Been following this for quite some time, and we've been talking about who's going to make it, how much is it going to be for. So we've heard $60 million+ for the Esports World Cup, and Apex is going to get their fair share as well. And it looks like Apex specifically is going to be coming on week 5. So this is going to be July 3rd all the way through August 25th. Apex is showing their spot on week 5, and so I think it's going to be like a couple $1 million for Apex, but then they're also going to do like MVP rewards and all this other stuff. So whoever gets first place really has a chance to double down on a lot of different stuff. You've got individual awards, the team awards, and then obviously the prize pool stuff as well. So very excited for this one. And I think from what I've heard that you might have invites based upon split 1 playoffs. Now, not 100% sure, because we do know it's not going to be based on the countries. It's not going to be America versus Mexico or anything like that. It's still going to be TSM versus Legacy versus Dark Zero. It's all going to be normal organizations. So still not technically, I guess, a World Cup, but I guess you can kind of call it that if you want to. But so I think that split 1 playoffs may have something to do with this, or at least the placements of some. We'll just have to obviously stay tuned. So of course, if you want to stay up to date, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.